Oscar Bevis, IFL TV, proudly sponsored by Everlast here in Leeds with Maxi Hughes. How are you, mate?
Very well. Look at this weather, man. Sunglasses are out and lot, so we're buzzing. We're buzzing.
I was going to say, I've got shorts on today, so I think that says it'll get the pasty legs out and that. And sunny in Leeds as well. Like, I know London we can get a little bit of sun. Sunny in Leeds, is this is like a rare occasion, isn't it?
No. God, this is God's county. God himself lives somewhere, I don't know where, but I know he does reside in Yorkshire, so he's not going to keep it miserable all the time. But usually around March time, you get this glorious weather, and I think it especially comes out when there's some boxing on.
I was going to say, what better way to celebrate the weather than a big fight week? Everyone I speak to, I keep hearing this thing about Maxi Hughes and the Cinderella story. I kind of feel like you've gone so far in this sort of phase of your career now that calling it a Cinderella story is kind of not doing you justice and saying that you kind of shouldn't be there and whatnot. You are that sort of level fighter now. It's not a Cinderella story anymore. This is Maxi Hughes, isn't it?
Yeah, like I am this good. I'm not fluking it. My last lot of performances, I've been underdog. I haven't just fluked it. I've been, and like when you look at the kids who I've lost to, every single one of them has been at some point British champion. So I've only lost to good kids. That's because I'm not afraid to fight anyone. I don't duck anyone. I'd rather not have a padded record. I'd rather have them losses because I've learnt from them and used them as experience to get to this point, rather than have boxed lesser kids, got the win, and been undefeated. And then, because at some point you're going to have to come up against somebody, good, a proper fighter. So, I've learnt the hard way. I've been in and I've earned my stripes. Is it strides or stripes? That's it. Stripes, yeah. I've been and earned it the hard way and got that experience. So, it all helps mould me into where I am now and who I am, the type of fighter I am.
Do you think it's kind of weird how boxing goes in sort of that full circle of when you're a fighter who's undefeated, say 10-0, and you lose your O, kind of the hype always dies down because there's so much emphasis placed on it. Yeah, I look at you now and people are celebrating the fact that you've taken hard fights in the past and your record isn't padded. So it's kind of like there's a bit of an imbalance here. People want you to be undefeated for a while, but as soon as you have a record like yours, that's praised as well.
Yeah, I mean, I try not to listen, and because it's mainly nowadays it's all social media, and it's a very negative, especially Twitter. It's horrendous. Boxing fans, especially mainly casuals, which a lot of them are, it's fickle, isn't it? Like you say, it's like they're happy supporting a kid who's on his journey, undefeated. He loses. I told you so. Told you he wasn't that good. Told you. And you're like, hold on a minute. Why are you supporting him? Or you're not? Are you glad he's lost or what? So I try not to pay too much attention to that. Like I remember hearing Curtis Woodhouse first say it years ago. Records are for DJs. So you look at the greats of the sport. They've all had losses. Because they fought the best, and they weren't afraid to lose. Because you learn, as long as you learn from it and come back stronger, then it don't matter, does it? You do see kids who do get beat, and sometimes they're never the same again. But that's down to a personal issue, I think.
Well, you've been a pro for a good few years now, and you've 12 years, wow. And obviously you've developed as a fighter as you've gone on, but would you say you learnt more from the first losses that you had in your career when you were sort of a younger, more inexperienced fighter, or perhaps the losses later on in your career when you're more similar to the fighter you are now?
I wouldn't say there's any sort of difference. It's all been one long journey. Late bloomer perhaps. Some kids hit the peak and they reach this point quite early in their career. Mine's being a slow burner, but I'm glad of that, because if it would have happened, if I were in this position a few years ago, I might have not been ready.
Is that mentally as well?
Yeah,
you mean
I think so. I think that's the major part of my game, which has developed at this age and this stage in my life, is the maturity, the mental side of boxing, and not just boxing, in life. I'm a father of two now, and you know what I mean. So it all adds, and it all, we're all constantly changing and developing and hitting different points in our life. So yeah, so it's all added to make me this fighter where I am today.
I suppose that changes like the burning desires and goals you have as well, because if you would have had this sort of success when you were younger, I suppose maybe it would have been a bit more of a look at me, successful in a more selfish manner. Not that that's your personality, but it's kind of for yourself. Now you talk about having 2 kids and being more grown up. I suppose the success and desires is there's a different meaning behind it all.
Yeah, like I think if it had happened years ago, and then if I lost, I could have lost, and then I could have been retired 26, 27. So I'm grateful for my career, grateful for the losses, the fights that I took at them times. They've all helped mould me. They've not ruined me. Don't get me wrong, they're not pleasant, and then it's not nice to lose. But it helped mould me to the person, not just in boxing, but the person I am. I've come through tough times. Life ain't easy, is it? I'm going a bit deep here and a bit thingy, but life's not easy. So life kicks you in bollocks all the time. So you just got to rise. Get over it and move forward. Don't sit crying about it. Just get on with it.
Well, I'm probably a prime example of this because I've dragged you into an interview and we're talking about sort of the past and, like you said, getting a little bit deep in that. Do you think that's what it's going to be with you now? Because it's not just going to be kind of about the here and now. People are always going to bring up the sort of roller coaster career that you've been on. It's never going to be, here's Maxi Hughes, let's talk about Saturday night. It's always going to come with sort of talking about the past, isn't it?
Yeah, I get a lot of people saying, what do you put it down to? Just saying, mainly it's just having the right attitude, not giving up, sort of thing, not spitting dummy out, that sort of thing. So, yeah.
One thing you are now is a champion. Time for the unboxing. I only have the handheld mic, so I'm going to have to commentate through.
So, here, we have a nice shiny belt, very well made.
Oh, yes.
You've got to be a strong champion to hold this, because it ain't like.
You have to do extra gym work to keep the IBO
it's,
above waist level.
Yeah, you can get a workout from this, but here it is. This is my reward. And what I like to say, I'll show this on camera, is when I hold this belt, these are like mirrors, these little things. You say, when you look there, you're going to see the champion staring back at you. Was that good looking face looking back at me?
Do you feel kind of like and obviously, look, I know you'll want to win and retain that title, but do you feel kind of like a protectiveness that you've never felt over something before?
Not really.
I know when I spoke to Josh, he said, I hate seeing people with my IBF belt. He said, I still feel it's mine. I hate the fact that they're touching it and all stuff like that.
Well, because we only live in a small house and that, we haven't got a lot of space. So this is actually stored away in the shed. It's a good shed. I've tidied it all out and I've got some proper benches and stuff. But I'm not like the way on about thinking about Saturday night and that. I'm not seeing it as I'm the champion. He's got to come and take my belt. The mindset I've had, which I've had, always been the underdog all my career, is that belt. Let's just say this belt is over there. I've got to go and prove that I'm worthy of winning that belt. So almost like the belt's vacant again. I've got to go and win it. I've got to go and over there taking it. I'm not thinking I'm champion. He's got to come and take my belt off me, sort of thing. My mindset is still the hungry lion. I've got to go and snatch that belt. I've got to go and take it. So, despite me having it now, I'll be giving it in Saturday to be ringside, and then I'll be getting it represented to me after the fight Saturday.
Well, the man who's going to be in the other corner, Mr. Ryan Walsh, I spoke to him yesterday and he's confident. I suppose, anyone's going to come in with confidence. That's the reason you're in the sport. But he is jumping up 2 weights. Yeah. It's kind of a good thing that he's confident. We'll make for a good fight, I hope. But yeah, he's jumping up 2 weights. He's been in with some top-level operators. And I know we can expect a good fight, but I suppose going into it, the boxing world right now and the forming room would still have you as a clear favourite. But I suppose you, again, can't view it like that.
No, I don't. I don't bet anyway, and I'm not the sharpest tool in box. Like, my mate sent me a picture of the odds. They've obviously gone on and betted. Sent me odds. I said, what do they mean? Does that mean I'm favourite or not? I don't understand the odds in that because I don't bet. Not because I've got an issue or all like that. I'm tight. I'm a tight Yorkshireman. Work too hard for my money to risk it on on people and sport and stuff like that. So I don't bet and I don't understand odds. So I don't pay much attention to that. He's favourite, blah blah blah. Because a lot of time, this is boxing. It's a sport. It can happen. So I don't really pay much attention to that. He's favourite, blah blah blah. It's just a fight. I prepare to be to be the best that I can be on fight night and go and do what I need to do to win.
And in a weird roundabout way, that boxing works. Liam Walsh's brother, his last fight was you. It works in strange ways, doesn't it?
I've retired.
You retired Liam.
Even though he says he's never, his hands have never hurt so much after hitting someone in the head, so he had to call it a day. So yeah, I get some revenge on the Walsh family. But yeah, I got a lot of respect for Walsh's. I like him. Bear no bounds about it. Respect him. I like him. It's a shame we have to fight, but it's business, isn't it? It's what we're in this for. We're in it to earn a few quid and be the best that we can be, and have good fights and good memories.
Just one final thing. There's kind of the carrot dangling, isn't there? We keep talking about the potential of fights in the States, and I remember talking to you in the bubble about Devin Haney at that time. Is this kind of like the one before the big one as well?
I don't know. I'm not, especially at this point now, as this fight gets close. It's time to lock in and focus on Saturday night. So I know Eddie likes to dangle carrots, especially probably dangle a few there. But I've just got to be professional and not rise to it. Forget about it. Concentrate. Just purely concentrate on Saturday. Nothing can happen until after Saturday night. So focus on that. Make sure I get the win, get the job done, and then hopefully Eddie will invite me down to Matchroom H quarters and make me a nice mug of coffee in them old china mugs, and we can discuss the future.
You can discuss them flights to Australia for ringside Haney Cambosis.
Absolutely. I'm full time now, so I'm free. I'm available. So let's get it.
The sun will be a bit better than Leeds.